Hello and welcome to another episode of Battle Ready.
Yay!
And today we thought we'd talk about the new balance update.
That I have not seen.
Drake has not seen it, so we'll talk a little bit about it. But it's the first pass at balance, and they touched on a lot of different armies. Not all of them. For example, Caradron, nothing. Well, the points did change. So Caradron, they got a little bit of a points decrease, but as far as their abilities and skills, there's no changes. But there are a couple of big changes.
Ironjaw was?
There is one Ironjaw's change that I think you're going to really like.
Yes.
They've changed it so that instead of calling the Wah once per battle, each hero can call it once per battle. So if you have
Wah. Every turn, Wah.
Yeah, you can call a Wah like 3 or 4 turns.
Oh, my list is amazing for that.
Yeah, because you have like 4 or 5 heroes.
I have like 6.
So you could just Wah it up.
Oh. Wait, can I have multiple call it at once?
No, it's once per turn.
Because I could have 2 bubbles of Wah going on.
Yeah.
No. Yes.
So
I got so scared that they were going to make Wah way worse.
They're doing great. So that's good. A couple things that are really cool about, points changes are points changes.
Yeah.
Right? So some things went up, some things went down. Most things went down. Not a lot of increases, although there were some.
No, I need those.
For whatever reason, Agridons went up in price, which I was so sad about because I wish I'd played my Seraphon because I love my Agridons. I wish I'd played them before the prices went up. But we'll get there. But a couple things that I thought were pretty cool. One is that they went in and touched battle traits.
Ooh.
That's not something that they usually do. Like you get the Orc Wah, right? Another thing is they changed Weird Flame.
Is it different now?
It's basically disease now, where it doesn't come off on a 1 or 2.
So it's forever.
It is unless you heal. Yeah, so it's a forever unless you heal. They added an ability to Maggotkin of Nurgle.
No.
Where if something is diseased and it's killed, you roll a die, and on a, I forget, 3-up maybe, then something near it gets diseased.
Ugh.
So it can spread its disease. It's called like disgusting pustules or popping pulse. I forget what it's called. It's some gross name because it's Nurgle, right?
Yeah.
And they went in and they made a change to Night Haunt, where the ability that they have to leave combat, they change it to your turn, not passive. So you can't leave combat with a redeploy or a counter charge, right? But in the article, they said, here's all the things we're doing. And the thing they said for Night Haunt is, we're changing this rule to be just 1 unit can do it, which is still really good, right? Because that's good. But when you read the rule, the change text doesn't say that. Every unit can do it. So probably that was a mistake. They're going to fix that.
Next status.
But
update.
Yeah, but I think overall, that's really cool that they're actually looking at changing battle traits. Because in the past, they've done a lot of point stuff. And every once in a while, when somebody was really suffering, you get a War Scroll change. Like, remember, it used to be that the Swamp Kala Shaman.
Yeah, he could
give poisons
or elixirs. And you only ever gave poisons.
Yeah. And so they're like, okay, now you
couldn't cast a spell.
Right, yeah, that's what it was. You can give poisons or cast the spell. And so then he's hurting. You can do both now. You can do both. So they would do little minor changes to War Scrolls. And they did a couple of those. But they nerfed Dreadblade Harrows a little bit. And they clarified the text on a Blob spell. It's not super huge. I mean, if you're a Night Haunt player, it's probably super huge. You're like, my Dreadblade Harrows. But overall,
we
not
don't
super
use them.
huge. Yeah, we don't have any.
Aha!
But it's been pretty rare that they make tweaks to battle traits
until now.
And then I cannot think, and maybe it's happened, so I don't want to say it's never happened, but I can't recall any time when they've added new battle traits. When they've said, oh yeah, you get all the battle traits in your book, plus this one. Here's a new one. They've added, actually the closest thing I can think of is they added battle tactics in the 3rd edition. Yeah. Towards the end of 3rd edition, they added them for Stormcast and Orcs.
Yes.
But I think that's, what do you think? What do you think about them changing battle tactics? Battle traits, which are like the fundamentals of how the army goes?
Happy.
Yeah? Why is that?
Because I feel like that way, because in previous editions, what they had was what they had. they wouldn't change them.
Mm-hmm.
And so now they can fine tune battle traits to be exactly how the lore works.
Well, I think that's true too. I think I really like the idea that they're being a little more, I don't want to say aggressive, but a little bit more willing to tinker with that, because I feel like that gives you your insight into how the army's supposed to play, right? The army's supposed to play in a certain way. And it doesn't tell the whole story, right? Until you get models on the table, you don't really know. Mm-hmm. But it gives you like a little bit of an idea. Oh, I have this Wa ability. I should probably call the Wa a lot. Yeah. Oh, I have this disease ability. I should probably try to maximize these things. No. So you have those things going on. And I really like that they're willing to tinker with that, because I think some of the armies in the indices, I think the issues with them are related to their battle traits. It's not like, oh, here's a great example. Slaanesh, they changed the Slaanesh one.
Oh, what is it now?
So it used to be you give somebody a 6 that they can use for anything, and then after they use it, they might get D3 Mortals. Mm-hmm. On a 3-up, they get D3 Mortals. No, on a 1 or 2, they get D3 Mortals.
That's and your guys got buffs while doing it.
Yeah, your guys get buffs, but they don't get auto 6s. Yeah. So they changed it a little bit. I don't think it goes quite far enough, but the Slaanesh change is now, when you get the die, you have to roll it. And on a 1 or 2, it's a 1 or 2. On anything else, it is still a 6. And then on the 1 or 2, you take the D3s.
I like that.
So it's better, right? It's not an auto 6. Now, what if you're using it, you've got 2 of them. You're going to use it for a charge. There's like a 90% chance you're guaranteed a 7-inch charge. Right? Because you'd have to roll 2. You'd have to roll double 1, a 1 or 2, or double 2s. So that's only, what?
4.
1, 2, 3, 4 ways out of 36. What is that? 2 ways out of 18, 1 in 9. So less than 10% chance that happens. So that means you have over a 90% chance that you're going to make minimum 7-inch charge.
Minimum 7-inch, maximum 12.
Yeah, and it could still be a 12. So if somebody's coming down from the heavens or whatever, and you got a 9-inch charge, it's still great, right? I would still way rather have that and risk D3 Mortals than roll it myself.
Yeah.
Right? So it's better. I don't think it's quite good. It's not good yet, just better. But I do like that the willingness to tweak the battle traits. Yes. They did a couple of little minor modifications to War Scrolls. I think they didn't touch War Scrolls enough. I didn't touch War Scrolls as much.
Did they touch Ironjawz?
No. Only a few. Couple of Nighthaunt ones, Blow Up. I'm trying to think if there's any other War Scrolls. I don't recall any other War Scrolls. But here's the thing that they said at the very end. At the very end, they said, we're going to have monthly FAQs.
Holy mackerel.
What do you think about that?
That sounds like it would make tournament playing way harder.
So that's what a lot of people have said. Now, the question is, what does that mean exactly? We don't know yet because they've never done this before, right? But monthly FAQs could just mean FAQs. No errata. They're not going to change any rules. They're not going to change any War Scrolls or battle traits.
They could just be answering.
They're not going to change any points.
Yeah.
They're just answering questions.
But that could still totally mess people up.
Well, I think that the FAQs are going to, if they're just FAQs, sometimes it seems pretty clear from a reasonable person what the rule is supposed to be and how to play something. But people get in their head, they're like, no, this means I can do it on somebody else's turn, or this means I can do this, or whatever.
No, those monthly FAQs.
And those monthly FAQs will shut that down quicker.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. But is that all it's going to be? Or are they going to be changing points? Or are they going to be changing, making more modifications to War Scrolls?
I think we want, is it just saying FAQ to not scare people into monthly battle scrolls?
Now, they did say that it's still going to be quarterly that they have a big one, and then the monthly ones are going to be smaller. But, it's interesting, again, from a tournament perspective, if points change from month to month, every tournament's going to have to say, you build your list based on, even though our tournament's in November, you base it on October's points.
Errata.
Because if points change in between, and people can't adjust quick enough, and so so that's the thing. But also, what do you think of it for casual gamers? Like you and me, we don't go to tournaments.
No.
But we still like to play, and we like to play with the right points and updated rules and all that sort of stuff. So, what do you think about for us?
I think it's gonna be fun because it's gonna mess up a lot of our lists, and we'll have to adapt.
Yep, I think that's true. So for us, I mean, if you're the kind of person that has exactly 2,000 points of exactly one army, and it's everything you want, and you don't want to do anything else, point changes are always going to be rough.
Yeah.
But I think anything else will help you, or help us anyway, vary up our lists a little bit, try out new things. And I think that the changes, for the most part, are things that are helpful for casual play. Like, I don't think there's anything in there. I think the worst thing about monthly updates for casual play is following them. Like, if you're a player that just wants to buy your book and play your army at home, then you're not going to have these updates. But I also think for casual play, you don't need them. Actually, you don't have points in your book anymore. The battle tomes don't have points, so you'd have to go online or on the app to get them anyway.
Yeah.
So I guess you could always, those will all be constantly updated. But I feel like if you just want to get your guys and have a fun army, you don't need to follow the latest FAQs, right? You don't need the hottest errata. You can just sort of play the stuff that you want. I think where it might become a little bit more tricky is people who are pretty casual and maybe they play with their friends, but then they also want to go to the local store and play with some people. They're just friendly pickup games, you know? But the people that you're playing with are like, hey, you know, they changed that unit's ability. You can't do that anymore. Oh, hey, you don't have that. You can't passively move out of combat as a Nighthaunt anymore. You don't have that, right? And so people could be unpleasantly surprised. That said, and I think that is a real risk and a real shame. That said, totally worth it.
Yes.
I think if you don't do that, then you're going to have stuff that's out of whack and doesn't really play well with the game. And I think that's going to lead to more bad experiences. The good thing would be to have everything balanced right away and never have to change it, right?
But that doesn't happen.
Yeah, that's not realistic. So ultimately, I think between those two options, more frequent, better updates is the better way to go. And I think you're going to see that more and more. Hopefully, you're going to see that more and more where they're willing to tweak battle traits, they're willing to tweak units, they're willing to throw out other abilities. Oh, they changed manifestations a little bit.
They changed it.
A couple of little minor things, but one of them is since people were spamming them, they'd be casting out all three and just taking up board presence with them. You can banish. That's what it is, not unbinding. You can banish a manifestation, and you get a bonus to cast for every manifestation beyond the first. So if they only have one manifestation, you get +0. If the 2 manifestations, you get +1. 3 manifestations, you get +2.
Oh wait, so is
now,
it for banishing?
Yeah, for banishing.
Because I was gonna say, oh well, now you just let the manifestations run rampant. You cast all your spells.
No, yeah, you have those, but it's bad too because it's like, oh, I got my purple sun out there. That's great. Oh, I really want to cast the shackles. Well, that's giving me a +1 to unbind your purple sun. Yeah. Right? Do you really want those shackles? Because I can use it to get rid of your purple sun easier. And then they took away from Purple Sun and Ravenous Gnashing Jaws their wild form, which said when they get banished, they don't leave; they just take 6 damage. And so that's gone. Now they do get banished.
That never happened.
It might have happened once with Gnashing Jaws.
I killed them.
Oh, you just killed them?
Yeah, my Seraphon just whacked it until it died.
So overall, I'm heartened by what they chose to address in the balance update. I'm actually happy that the balance updates are going to be more frequent. You know, sometimes people online, you know, you'll have people over here that are like, oh, the balance of this game is so bad, they need to fix it. And then Games Workshop will come out and be like, all right, we'll fix it. You're fixing it too frequently. It's the worst. So I think there's always things that people complain about, but I think the more attention is paid to the balance of the game and the more attention is paid to making it a good experience, the more fun you're going to have in general, right? Any final thoughts about frequent updates?
Wah, wah, wah.
Wah, indeed. Well, let us know what you think in the comments below. This has been another episode of Battle Ready. Thanks so much for watching.